Alright, we're back. Sure. With minimal difficulties, thankfully. Well, and I should have probably messed with the latency, like I said I would, but whoops, did not do that. So I guess we're gonna have to. There's probably just gonna be a little bit of delay between like what happens and how quickly I can read the chat. So I guess if we're faced with any difficult choices or what have you, they're just gonna be waiting while we stand around to like live chat messages show up. But yeah, picking up right where we left off, and I'm probably gonna wrap up within an hour and a half or so, like I said, just to get to like a adequate stopping. Yeah, we have our very first confession, as talked about at the end of chapter 2. You know, plot twist, Ringo shows up, and it seems like... Okay, so Yuzu was talking about, like, oh, Ichigo probably only likes me because, like, oh, I'm the most popular girl in school, and, like, hello, welcome back, long time no see. But yeah, I'm talking about, like, oh, Yuzu was talking about, oh, Ichigo only likes me because I'm popular, and because, like, oh, dating me is kind of like trophy girlfriend or the status symbol, what have you. She doesn't like me for me, and it seems like she's talking from experience, like, oh, these are the feelings, or that's what's happened with previous girls who have been quote-unquote interested in me. But then Ringo shows up, and she's the one who, oh, I'm the one that likes you. Maybe Ichigo does too, but that's not really, that's just speculation at this point. So yeah, I guess going off of what we saw in the prologue there, given that it's basically established that Ringo was the one that was talking, and like dealing with her little identity crisis of, oh, like I want to, I've always been in the shadow of my twin sister, you know, I need to find like ways to, I struggle because like I've brought myself down to her level basically, and now I don't know how to distinguish myself from her. So my theory is obviously that Yuzu sees her for her, right, and not just like, oh, as one half of a pair with her twin sister, and she like likes her for that or whatever, or she sees Yuzu as like a way to break that mold, not just be the younger sister who's living in Ichigo's shadow, right? I guess we'll see how Yuzu herself handles this. It would, given that we probably have a handful of more chapters to get through, I would say that for the sake of good old-fashioned juicy drama, this is far from over, and there is no way that I just don't see Yuzu just turning her down, just given how, I guess, complicated, lack of a better word, the situation is, and she maybe doesn't want feelings, and she sees Ringo's like identity struggles himself, blah 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 blah. We talk about this as much as we want, but you know, let's just see what happens. So we're finally starting chapter 3 in earnest after that monster of a chapter 2.
そうだ。バカ正直に私自身の気持ちを伝えてどうする?
And of course, we've already gotten through one prologue scene. Usually these games set the stage with, like, they start, they introduce us with like scenes towards the end, drama and the character development like come to a head, but this time we haven't gotten to, I actually don't know what that first event was in the prologue, honestly. I feel like it's been mentioned already, but
本心を明かすことはできない。どうしたものかね。
It's the question of the hour, isn't it? You know, autumn ends in December, up here in the northern hemisphere anyway. October, November are like the real thick of it, you know. There is, well, where I live, stuff doesn't really start getting colder until like late November or December, or what have you. We only really have 2 seasons here, summer and slightly colder summer. But you know, in places with actual 4 seasons, I'm sure you really feel that brisk autumn air, you know?
返事は少し待ってほしいか。我ながら臆病なことだ。
Wow, she just ran away. She just dipped. Can't really blame her. Awkward teenagers be like, you know.
リンゴくんの悲しい顔を見るのは嫌だ。
Yeah, it's easier to say that when the person in question is not someone just another admiring underclassman, but in this case they're actually friends. A little bit more at stake.
そろそろ教室を出ないと間に合わないわよ。礼法の授業に遅刻なんてしたらおかしいでしょ。ああ、確かにそうだ。本末転倒だな。僕たちが最後か。みんなも声をかけてくれればいいのに。声をかけようとはしていたわよ。でもあまりに物憂げだからできなかったのよ。ただ面白い小説を読んでいたら朝方になってしまっただけだというのにね。眠っていないの？貫徹だよ。さすが我が師。図書室の妖精だ。僕にぴったりの時代小説を勧めてくれた。
At least we now know who the alternate route is. One or both of them, honestly. You know, me being me, I want to take it apart as much as possible, even though we don't have a lot of information. Yeah, I mean, Ichiko obviously like has some like sort of admiration / affection for her, like going so far as to want to date her. I don't know. Ringo's the only one who has like this obvious like some sort of like infatuation / romantic feeling / whatever you want to call it at this point.
So, それならいいのだけど、何か悩み事があるなら相談して。私たちは親友でしょ。ああ、できるわけがない。
That's a not sure I agree with that metaphor, but okay.
ひたすら眠いが急ぐとしよう。高崎くんのような足取りになったら揺さぶって起こしてくれよ。千鳥足ということね。人生について書きたいならまず生きなくてはならない。
Didn't mention this in the last playthrough, but I really like that. Really like that OST that was playing during the party. Kind of reminded me of like the like dinner scenes in the Harry Potter movies, books with that huge, grandiose dining hall. That's the kind of music that would play if they were like having a party or whatever there. That's kind of what that reminded me of.
私が好きなのは愛していない人間と旅に出てはならないです。
Oops. Sorry, Suo. Cut you off there. Just for good measure.
私が好きなのは愛していない人間と旅に出てはならないですね。どうしました？どこかお加減でも。いや、そうじゃないさ。なかなか眼蓄のある言葉だと思ってね。はい、いつか友達みんなで旅行に行きたいです。
Wow, same.
友達か。
Very, that's a very pure thing to say though.
そいつはいい。きっと佐々木いちごくんが盛り上げてくれるだろうね。
ええ、みんなでリッカさんと私でたくさんお菓子を作って。
紳士か。
八代先輩は一緒に旅に出るならやっぱりコミカド先輩とですか
？Oh yeah, I forgot I could just go back. Imagine playing visual novels for like 4 years and not knowing what the basic functions do. Alright. Much as I would like to flirt with Suo, or much as Yuzu would probably like to flirt with her just to see her embarrassed. Well, honestly, by extension, no one ever gets tired of seeing that. I mean, I don't know. You know, whatever. Alright, I got it wrong. Yeah, I mean, green ending. My dog's barking. But yeah, I guess if we're being genuine here, don't want to play it off as a joke, so we'll go with the genuine answer. Seemingly genuine answer. I misread it the first time around. Not very common in visual novels. Also, that shows how much I play VNs. I like own a lot, but it's always just like, oh man, I gotta tackle this, you know? I gotta read. I know reading should be fun, and it is. I really like these games, but it's just a matter of it definitely feels like effort sometimes. I think it's just like a mindset thing. It's a game, you know, first and foremost. I should have fun doing it.
そうだな。一人選ばなくちゃならないとなったら、スオくんかな？
私ですか？
なんだ、ずいぶんと嫌そうじゃないか。痛いけな僕の胸がショックで縮んでしまうところだよ。
違うんです。私なんかと言っても楽しめないんじゃないかって思って。
なーに、気が合う仲間が一番さ。列車で向き合いながらあだ名で呼び合って、いざ温泉へなんてのもいい。
あだ名？
そうだな。八重垣くんならエリーとかかね。
名前か れなら八代先輩はゆずり肌からゆずゆず
スオーくん。
すみません、冗談です。
いや、そいつはいい。二人きりの時はそう呼んでくれないか。親密になった気分だよ。さあ、早く。
Wow, she just summed it up so succinctly. As to why you should be a fan of Suo Shirahane. One sentence.
恥ずかしい。
And also why I'm enjoying the scene a lot too.
大丈夫。今は僕とスオーくんの二人きりしかいないんだ。
Like, she tries so hard and she always manages to like say something kind of awkward or like out of place or like overstepping a little bit, but it's so sincere that you can't help but root for her, you know? I mean, I remember in volume 1 that like it was usually more cringy than anything else when she was really just coming out of her shell, but character development, you know, it's a little bit different now, although you can still see the awkwardness.
余計に恥ずかしいのですけど。
Also, cuteness level 100, I think that goes without saying, you know?
ゆずゆず。先輩。
Yeah, same.
あだ名で呼ばれることがこんなに嬉しいなんてね。
恥ずかしいですから。
そうだね。堪能したし、これくらいにしておこうか。うさが晴れたよ。ありがとう、スオくん。さて、せっかく図書室の妖精がいるのだ。おすすめの時代小説でも借りてみるとしようかな。
司馬遼太郎の本は読破されているのですよね。
さすがに全部は無理だよ。有名どころだけさ。相談するならと行き着いた場所が誤りだったな。よりによって彼女はないよな。
Well, she does already have a lot on her plate, but she would probably be able to say something insightful, you know?
はい。風の武士ですか？
Or at the very least, like, offer advice in a very roundabout way. Like, talk about the issue without actually talking about it. I think for these two, that would be pretty in character. I guess kind of like Tsuo and Erika whenever they talk. Yuzu and Erika are pretty similar, as Yuzu herself made that observation earlier. I guess that's why I like both of them so much.
どうぞ。
八重垣くんの部屋でコーヒーが飲めるとは思っていなかったよ。
私が入れたんだ。味わって飲んでくださいよ。
流れるように嘘をつかないで。私が入れたのよ。お砂糖いりますか？それでどうしたんです？今度はセーター編みを習得に？
You know, up until this point, Chidori might just say the wrong thing entirely. We all know that she's not. It's hard to get through to her. Oh, are you talking about there's actually a choice that's gonna come up? Man, if I were Yuzu, I'd want to say something, but I'll keep that in mind for later. I do appreciate though that in just like these two or three short chapters, these two have become the mom friends basically, because you just by seniority alone, it's been Yuzu and Kamikado, right? But as it turns out, Yuzu is a mess, and Kamikado is not only homophobic, but also just off in her own world, so a little bit airheaded, and all of those things. So yeah, maybe not the best to talk about, or to come to ask for advice. These two, on the other hand, have really been through it, so. But given what you're saying now, David, we'll see. Oh, yeah, that's a very good point. I'm having flashbacks to all the arguments that these two had.
いや、
理由がなきゃ遊びに来ちゃいけないってこともないだろ。先輩はお疲れなんだよ。
まさか。
シェイプシフター事件を解決したり、少し前のハロウィンパーティーでも八面六臂の大活躍だったみたいですからね。
I mean, on the other hand, I think Erica knows already. That's the contrast between those two. Chidori, dense as a brick, and Erica, who you can't really keep any secrets from her.
八面、あなた日本語で喋りなさいよ。学院の女生徒からモテて大変だったなってことだよ。
まあそれなりに面倒ではあった。八重垣くん的に言うなら2002年のアスレチックスくらいは追い込まれていたかな。
What is that, a Moneyball reference?
そいつはきつい。だがその後奇跡の20連勝。最後は11点差追いつかれてダメかと思ってからのサヨナラホームランじゃないですか。
It is a Moneyball reference. Add that to the list of references I was not expecting to see in this game. But whoever wrote this screenplay has a very, very wide and varied taste, obviously.
どういうこと？
And Chidori, of course, does not get it.
華麗な逆転劇だよ。だが無理をしたんでボロボロってことさ。
疲れている時は糖分か。見て取れるくらいには顔に出ているのだろう。同性からの告白なんて今までだって何度も通ってきた道だというのに。
これ少し引きすぎたんじゃないか？そう？私は気にならないけど。粗挽きなのだもの。あっさりめになっているでしょ？そうか。私的には濃いめな気がするけどな。 なんだ、どうした？部屋の中で幽霊騒ぎは勘弁だぞ。
そうではないわ。後ろ髪、寝癖がついているわよ。
She always has bad hair.
寝癖？もともと癖っ気なんだ。どこが寝癖なんだかわからねえよ。
I think it's a bad habit of mine to say things before the characters themselves say it.
また寝転がって本を読んでいたのでしょう。仕方のない子ね。
おい、ちょっと。
おとなしくしなさい。
いいってやめろ。
八代先輩の髪って綺麗ですよね。
Oh, good. Don't. I know they're in their room, but maybe they could tone down the PDA a little bit. Guest over.
とてもいい気持ちだ。
Oh wow, that's more quality content right there. I remember in volume 2, what was it? Erica doing Chidori's hair was like a like what? Her response to Chidori's confession, something really symbolic like that. But it was supposed to be like this very. It was at the end of chapter 6, right? It's supposed to be this very like heartfelt and tender moment between them after like all of the fighting that they'd done up to that point. And it was like presented as such, like given that given as much. So just seeing this now, I feel like Eric would be like, hold up, wait a minute. I feel like you were only supposed to do that to me, you know?
八代先輩の髪、とても滑らかなのにさっぱりとした指通りで、なんだか変わっていますね。
髪もそのものに似るのかな。
でもこうしてすいていると本当に綺麗。髪ではないみたい。
Yeah, that's right. That's what that scene meant without like saying it outright, I think.
"人となりが髪に現れるってのは嫌味か?"
I mean, I relate to Erica a lot in this situation. Perpetual bedhead.
エリカの髪はエリカらしいわよ。
くそ、伸ばそうかな、髪。
Wow, I felt that, honestly.
やっぱり面倒なんですか？
一日でもサボると途端にへそを曲げてしまうからね。それと髪を洗うと率直に乾くまで時間がかかる。
ああ、毎日だと大変そうだ。
エリカ、髪にコンプレックスを抱いているようなんです。
If you say that to your bald teacher, I hope you offset it with, at least it's probably easy to take care of, you know?
僕は八重垣くんの髪質と髪型好きだけどね。
なんだ、密談か？やらしいな、おい。
そうよ。女の子同士の大切なお話。 こうして手ですいてみると本当に紙ではないみたい。
僕の髪で遊ばないでくれたまえよ。
本当に美しいわ。
おい
何？エリカも触ってみたいの？
やめろ。八代先輩が困っているだろうが。
そうかしら。手ぐしも髪を整えるのに有効ですよね。
Yeah, you were right about Chidori being dense. That was obvious. That was already pretty well established, though. Never gets old seeing it.
そうだね。
ほら、
いいからやめろって。
僕を出しに使ったね。
すみません、八代先輩。
Well, it seems like I was right. Eureka was successfully worked herself up because of that.
なんだよ、また密談かよ。
成功したって話したのよ。
あ？
エリカをすねさせるのが成功だって。
Bingo.
たまにはエリカに嫉妬してもらいたいから八代先輩に協力してもらったのよ。焼いたエリカも可愛いわ。
お前。
There's genuine aggravation in her voice there.
やめろよな。
いつもは自分でやるが、人にやってもらえるのがこれほど心地よいものだと改めて知ったよ。
今度はコミカド先輩にやってもらったらいいですよ。きっと私よりも素晴らしいと思います。
そうだね。
ほらよ、コーヒーでも飲んで一休みしたら次は私の髪もすいてくれよ。
いいわよ。ならその次は私の髪もすいてくれる？もちろん手ぐしありでね。
そいつは
ああ、もうシーツがコーヒーまみれじゃない。
お前が変なこと言うからだろうが。
これじゃあ今日寝られないわ。罰としてエリカのベッドで一緒に眠らせてもらうわよ。
Yeah, punishment.
一緒にって。
コーヒーで染めてしまったシーツは片上寮長のもとへ持っていくこと。そうすれば後日新しいシーツと交換してくれるよ。それでは僕はこれで。
八代先輩。
Wow, R.I.P. Erica. Only knew you for so long. Yeah, I do feel that though. The PDA was well, it's cute when you're not actually there and having to put up with it, you know? I definitely have similar Scroogey feelings about being a third wheel, you know? There's only so much PDA that I can take, and that amount is probably like around that much, so yeah, I know how it is. And of course, our noble and beloved.
ダメね。こんなものは料理じゃないわ。
our noble and beloved protagonist did not really get any closer to an answer.
こんなものはモンブランとは言わない。子供の粘土遊びと一緒だわ。そんな上手にできたと思ったのに。思った？もしかして味見もしていないのかしら。あら、ごめんなさいね。味見をしてこのレベルならもっとかわいそうだもの。そこまでですよ、コミカド先輩。姉を侮辱するのは私としては許しません。文句を言うのならこのパープキンパイを食べてからにしてもらいますですよ。
ああ、これは夢か。
Yeah, she, with no regard for human life right there. That was brutal.
さあ、食べてもらいましょうか、コミカド先輩。あなたのような汚れた者の手で作られたデザートなんて食好きにもなれないわね。
That's why everyone's out of character.
汚れた手、ちゃんとおトイレに行った後にしっかり手を洗っていますですよ。そういう意味ではないわ。私の信用をたぶらかした人が作ったものなんて食べられないって言っているの。そんな。
悪夢だと分かっているが謝罪しよう。僕が気のあるふりをしたからだ。
ええ、その通りですよ。
え？
そう、気の多いあなたのせいよ。
And in typical dreamlike fashion, everyone turns on her.
ゆずりは、あなたはね。
許してくれネリー。裏切ったんじゃない。僕は
何ですか？
いちごくんか。どうしたんだい？随分と積極的じゃないか。
ゆずりは先輩が落ち込んでいるみたいだから私的に元気を注入しているんです。
Yeah, some hallucinogenics maybe. Okay, I gotta use the bathroom real quick, so I'll be back in like 1 minute tops. Alright, it didn't lose any viewers, so in the minute that I was gone, so it's a good sign. I don't understand how streamers can like just sit down for hours and hours and not have to use the bathroom.
いや、こそばゆいのは確かだけどね。元気が出たよ。少し前にも気を使ってもらっていたというのに、2度目だな。
大丈夫ですか？
以前も気を使われたが、シリアスな問題じゃないんだ。ただ時代小説にはまりすぎて寝不足なだけさ。
そうなんですか？
ああ、本当かどうか知りたいならスオ君に聞いてみるといい。最近本の貸し出しをよくしていると証言してくれるだろう。
But I want to know. What are they scheming?
探していたんですよ、八代先輩。
これは？
クッキーを焼いたんです。どうぞ。
おや、いいのかい？
八代先輩のために焼いたのですもの。どうぞ遠慮なく。
Wow, how nice of her.
いちごくん？
でも喜んでくれているし。
なんだ？
What, they were planning? Are they planning another surprise party behind her back? Surprise party behind her back. That's redundant, but you know what I mean.
わかったわ。おひげ。やめていたい、そうなのに。
Wow, not being able to read the room and pick up on little social hints. Yeah, I felt that.
いちごくん、これは？
Yeah, that's going in.
ゆずりは先輩が落ち込んでいるようだったから、クッキーだけじゃなく一発芸、冗談でもして笑わせてみたらって話になって。
Yeah, that's going in my cringe compilation right there.
それでこの状況か。映画「アニー・ホール」でウディ・アレンがこう言っていた。人生はひどいか悲惨であるか、その2つのうちどちらかだと。
ゆずりは先輩、
もし何かひどい目にあったとしても安堵しなければならない。ひどい目にあったくらいでよかった、悲惨じゃなくて助かったってね。
ゆずりは先輩、それフォローになってないです。
だろうね。
These two are hopeless, aren't they? Poor Rika. She just wanted to help. they tried their best, and I think that is worth something. Maybe a consolation prize at best, but that's something.
ひどい目に遭うかもしれないが、悲惨な状況ではない。本当に悲惨というのはこれだ。
Man, these last couple chapters have been truly full of surprises. I gotta say, that's really something. Not to mention that it's the same hairstyle as a certain class president.
花火師くんの三つ編み、素敵だと思っていたわ。
What's wrong with this chapter? Where to start? No, really, I've been enjoying myself. Well, enough. It's been like one gag after another, you know? I appreciate that.
これは優等生しか似合わない髪型なのかもしれないな。次だな、次。
Alright, take two.
次は。
You know, I've actually been meaning to say this for a while, but now is a good time to point it out since she's messing around with her hairstyle. I think like her character design, Yuzu's character design, and just like personality overall, like remind me a lot of like Ellie Ayase or Kanan Matsura from Love Live. Like Ellie is like the student council president, and the next chapter is gonna be brutal. Oh man, don't remind me. That's how this game gets you, isn't it? They lull you into this false sense of security, and then either story-wise or mystery-wise, they pull any punches, huh? But yeah, like in her like being student council president, and like outwardly she's capable and reliable, but really she's just making it up as she goes along. I think she's a lot like Ellie in that regard, and she's a lot like Kanan in that like she has this like her demeanor outwardly is pretty laid back, I think, and easygoing, and it masks like a ton of insecurities that have basically been building up ever since she was a kid. So yeah, I don't know if that that resonates with anyone, but me being a hopeless Love Live fan ever since like 2015, it's a pretty easy comparison to make in my opinion. I mean, that's why I like her, because like that's both of those characters that I just mentioned are, you know, quality characters, so.
いや、なんだか間違ったロッカーのようにも見えるな。
Yeah, she hasn't even talked about it. A lot of this chapter has just been her attempting to talk to people and failing, and then everyone's getting worried about her, like, because, you know, obviously something's off.
本当は可愛い髪型にしたいんだが。
Oh, also the reason I bring up the Love Live comparisons is because they have the high ponytails, you know?
くらい不評だったな。僕自身は可愛い髪型がいいのだけどね。母さん、僕に求められているのは可愛さではないみたいです。
Man, she's really running the gauntlet here. got a little bit of useful backstory there, though. She mentioned earlier in chapter 1, I think, like, oh, I'm talking about my dad like she's dead, or like he's dead, still alive. Mom, on the other hand, she hasn't brought her up that much until now, and what she said just now it's not very reassuring, so I'm sure we're going to find out more. Also her saying, like, oh, I want to be cute is pretty in character with what we've heard so far. It's that whole, like, oh, cool versus cute kind of thing that's usually talked about in singers, like, oh, good looks, and there are often, like, only a couple of types as far as stereotypical beauty standards go. If we're going by those, Yuzu does fall into that first category, so. But she is really tall. Like and she's commented before that, like, oh, her appearance is not stereotypically cute in the first place, so has the deck stacked against her per se. She's really trying her best, though. That's a quality shot.
Kawaii. Kawaii yo na.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's killing it. Classic anime timing right there.
愛らしいわ。その髪型にすればいいのに。
ね。
ね。
So much screaming in these last two chapters. No shortage of excitement, though.
Ah. ま、こんなものかな。
すごい。やっぱりゆずりはさんが一番だわ。そう思わない？ええ、先だってのバレエ発表会の下級生も上手だったけれど、ゆずりはさんには及ばないわね。お水持ってきたわ。相変わらずバレエ上手ね。この学院に来てから習い始めたのでしょ。
ありがとう。まあそうだが、大抵のものは少し触れればある程度こなせるようになるからね。料理以外は。
That skill at cooking, or even like getting over that initial hump, seems to be eluding her.
ある程度の枠を超えていると思うけれど、ゆずり派って天才肌なのね。
器用貧乏なだけだよ。給油はああ言ってくれているが、実際のところ高崎くんと僕とでは技量は同程度じゃないかな。
She's on another level.
ずっと習ってきた人と同格というだけですごいわ。本調子ではないよね。
そうかい？グランフェッテの回転速度も一定だったと思ったが。
そうでなくて楽しくなさそうだったわ。もしかして昨日勝手に部屋に伺ったから。
Bring it up willy-nilly.
そうか、ごめんなさい。お部屋の鍵が開いていたからロックはしてたけど押し付けだったわ。
いや、そうじゃないんだ。
昨日のことを怒っているわけじゃない？それならなんで不機嫌になっているの？
So that would be, I feel like that's a pretty funny way to answer, honestly. Like, you're not mad about yesterday, but you remember that thing that you saw me doing yesterday? I mean, obviously she's been hung up on it. That doesn't mean she's angry per se, but I don't see that leading to a productive discussion about it. Yuzu is very rarely honest with Narine though about these kinds of things. And also, she was talking earlier about how like, what was I saying? Like, what would Narine think if she saw me doing this, or like the fake me versus the real me thing? Some part of me thinks like, oh, she already knows to an extent what her struggles are, since like allegedly she was around for that quote-unquote change, right? So I kind of just want to be honest right now at this point. I think we'll just go with that. Oh, sorry. Someone's running water in the house. It's probably like the shower or something. I can turn it down if you want, but that means I will have to talk less. Can you still hear me talking over it though? I can't really do anything about it at the moment. Alright, I'm gonna have to talk like this. Right into the mic.
それはその昨日僕の部屋で髪型を変えているところを見ただろ。あれをからかわれるんじゃないかって。
Alright, I think we're back now. Sorry about that. The water pipes do not play nice. There's not a lot of if someone runs water, basically like everyone hears it. So, and it's apparently not very well muted, what have you. My room is not exactly a sound studio. That's usually why I try to record when I'm the only one home, but I think we're good. It probably like cut off what I was saying earlier. How like what was I saying earlier? Oh, Yuzu was like, oh, what would Narine think if she saw me like debating like, oh, the fake me or the real me? And I was saying like, oh, she probably knows to an extent that Yuzu has this like little identity crisis going on, that she's struggling with like how to put herself out there. So that's kind of what led me to make that choice. Like, oh, just be honest with her. She already knows to an extent, and like she understands. And Narine is like, I think Narine is the type of friend to just like let you work it out. She would like trust you to reach the right, like the conclusion that you need to eventually, or the decision that you need to make. So that's my take on it. And anyway, it got us the green. Yeah, sorry about that. The solution really is to start streaming earlier in the day, you know, when I'm the only one home. Not going to happen usually. But yeah. We'll see where this takes us.
からかう？どうして？
いや、どう考えたって似合わないだろ。昨日だって罰の悪い顔をしてすぐ退散したじゃないか。
すぐ追い飛ばしたのはあんまり驚いた顔をしていたからよ。驚かせてしまって悪かったって。
こういうやつだったよな。
Yeah, just a little misguided, I guess, is how I would describe it.
そんなことを気にしていたの？お下げを2つに言って可愛かったわ。今日もその髪型にすればよかったのに。
そんな恥ずかしい真似できるわけがないだろ。
She'd be the talk of the town, for better or for worse.
どうして？
女装した男みたいな目で見られるからだよ。
そんなことないわ。ゆずりはは優しくて素敵な女の子よ。もしバカにする人がいたら私が許さないわ。ゆずりはも卑下してはダメ。
Shot right through the heart. Right where it hurts.
ありがとうネリ。君の一言はいつも僕を救ってくれるよ。
いつものすまし顔もいいけれど、女の子をしているゆずりはも可愛いのに残念だわ。
勘弁してくれ。あの髪型で人前に出られるほどまだ成熟してはいないんだよ。ヘミングウェイは真の男になるためには4つのことを成し遂げなければならないと言った。
小説家の？
ああ、1つ木を植えること、2つ闘牛すること、3つ本を書くこと、4つ息子を得ることだ。僕はまだ1つしかことをなしていない。未熟者なんだよ。
Yeah, Erica taught her well.
譲りはったら
おいおい、大丈夫かい？長く話し込んで体が冷えてしまったんじゃないか？
平気よ。髪といえば
ほら、君は昔から体が強くないんだ。無理をしてはいけない。月末の合唱会に参加できなくなるなんてことになりたくないだろ？
That's the other big event in this volume, the choir performance.
さあ、シャワーを浴びて着替えよう。
なんだか調子悪いみたいですね。
Oh man, the last time we were in here, Narine had some choice words for Ichigo and Ringo. Obviously, that was within the dream world, but not getting some great vibes here.
ああ、焦がしてしまったか。
合いびきのお肉も焦がしちゃってますね。
食材を無駄にしてしまった。神に懺悔しなければ。問題ないよ。ただいつも通りの僕というだけさ。いちごくんの方は目を離していて大丈夫なのかい？
私的な料理は秋ナスと若鶏のトマト煮ですからね。煮込んでいる最中なんで大丈夫です。それにリンゴと合作なんで、今はリンゴがお鍋を見ている番なので平気なのです。
さすがに何と言えばいいか。決心がつかないよな。
決心？何がですか？
Yes, isn't that the question?
焦げた秋ナスだよ。捨てるにはもったいない。表面だけ削って何かできないものかね。
何か打開策が。ちょっとそうちゃんに聞いてきますね。焦がしてしまったそうですね。
何か捨てる以外で生かす方法はあるかい？
焦げたのは表面だけみたいですから、刻んでパスタの材料にとか。私たちが作っている秋ナスと若鶏のトマト煮、パスタのソースにしても美味しいと思うよ。さすがは秋の味覚。何でも合いますな。ゆずりは先輩は秋の味覚、風物詩といえば何を思い出しますか？
そうだな。秋の風物詩ね。
I'm just gonna go with my gut here. Don't want to pick this one apart.
食べ歩きかな。
And my gut was wrong. Great. Okay, oh my god, I was about to load all the way back there. Force of habit. Okay. That would have been... Well, I could have just pressed next. We're good now. Crisis averted. But man, can you say awkward about this scene? Imagine what it would feel like to be Ringo right now.
読書かな。本を読むのにいい季節だしね。
That's definitely like that's like a Suo answer though. more so than Yuzu is not nearly as much of a bookworm as they are. Though I think comparing her to the two biggest bookworms in school is already, well, that's already an unfair comparison right off the bat.
そうですよね。今図書室では秋の読書週間を行っているんです。好きなジャンルを伝えていただければ好みの一冊を探すお手伝いをしているんですよ。
そうなのか。それじゃまた図書室に寄らせてもらうよ。
ぜひ八代先輩が来ていただけるのなら他の生徒さんたちも寄ってくれると思うので。
まつげが長いな。肌も素晴らしくきめ細かい。
そうじゃ、そろそろ。
Everyone's got it for Suo. I said that before, but every time someone makes that kind of observation, it's just like, yeah.
いちごさん、まあいろいろ秋の風物詩はあるけれど、私的にはもみじ狩りかな。
もみじ狩り。ずいぶんと渋いところをついてくるね。
いちごさんならもっとパーティーのようなものを言うと思っていたわ。私の清楚なイメージとぴったりじゃない。それで提案なのですが。
Must be nice, dude, to live in a place where like you can actually, like, the leaves actually turn orange and yellow and whatever before, for like an extended period of time before falling off. Like I said here, I mean the seasonal, like the deciduous trees do die during the winter time, but I swear the leaves turn yellow for like a week. One of the downsides of living where the weather's always nice, though I think most people would call me spoiled because can't really stand 60-degree winters, you know?
もみじ狩りか。別段行くことは構わないが、料理部としてはどうだろう。
ハイキングな感じでお昼用のお弁当を凝るなら料理部の野外活動といっても OK だと思うのですけど。よかった。もみじ狩りといったら栗や柿や松茸。それだけじゃなくて、最近ゆずりは先輩元気がなかったみたいだし、その。
Yeah, we all know how the last attempt to cheer her up went. Noble effort for sure, but
そうか。気を使ってもらってすまないね。
also feeling like she's a burden just because she's feeling down and apologizing at every opportunity she gets. It's a big mood right there.
それにリンゴも元気がないみたいだったので遊びに連れ出そうって。ハイキングみたいで気分転換になりますよね。
ああ、そうだね。自分ばかり。私も。
Understandable though. Rinko kind of did ask a lot out of her, I think. Not that it's her fault, that anyone's at fault, but yeah.
そんな申し訳ないなんて顔をしないで。譲り葉が映したわけじゃないのだから。
Her sneezing earlier was foreshadowing. Sneeze is never just that.
体が弱いことを知っていたのに気遣えなかった。僕のせいだ。
汗をかいたまま話し込んでいた私が悪いのよ。だからそんなに困ったワンちゃんのような顔をしないでね。
僕の本性は犬か。猫の八重垣くんとは相性が悪そうだ。
You know how visual novels tend to like crank things up to 11, for lack of a better word? Well, oh, hopefully, oh no, RIP. Kind of related to that though, what I was saying, like, oh, VNs like to crank stuff up to 11, you know, especially if you like get bad endings or like just to kind of really go for that shock value, or if they want to wrap things up quickly. Narine has a weak immune system, right? I really hope that doesn't come back to bite us in the end. This game doesn't, well, for the most part, I don't really believe that the writers would pull that kind of stuff on us for shock value, but it definitely incentivizes not getting the bad endings, just so I don't find out.
グレートピレニーズに懐いてる黒猫もいるでしょ。
そこまで大女じゃないだろう。
譲り葉と話していると風邪をひいたことを忘れてしまいそうだわ。
薬になっているなら長情だけどね。ネリーのアミティアなら夕食に向かったよ。
もうそんな時間になるのね。それじゃあ譲り葉は？
僕は一緒に食べようと思って持参してきたんだ。
私の分も持ってきてくれたのね。
病人の前で一人で食べるほど鬼じゃない。食欲が落ちてるだろうからフルーツヨーグルトにしてもらったよ。食欲もしかしてあるのかい？
もうそんなに食いしん坊じゃないわ。体がほてっていたから冷えていて美味しそう。
キウイとイチゴとみかん、ブルーベリー付きだ。体にいいぞ。
美味しいわ。
そいつはよかった。ヨーグルトさえしっかりとっておけば風邪なんてひかなくなる。
昔からそう言っているわよね。
父がよく言っていたよ。ヨーグルトさえ食べておけばこの世は万事うまくいく。
サラダ教のようなものかしらね。同じものなのね。気を使わなくていいのに。
ダイエット中でね。大義名分ができてありがたいよ。
譲り葉は背が高いのだから多めに食べても平気よ。
グレートピレニーズで止めておきたい。グレートデーンまで行くのは女子として抵抗があるんでね。
るかしら。
いや、少し思い出したことがあってね。ネリーは変わらず素敵な香りがするよ。
ありがとう。ゆずりはは香水あまり好きじゃないのよね。
Again, I don't want to pick this one apart too much, so let's just be honest again. What could possibly go wrong, right? Famous last words. Maybe I misread it again. You know, I don't want to think about this too much. But that does make sense, thinking, like, looking at it now. I swear. Picking the wrong choice every time makes me feel like I fundamentally misunderstand these characters sometimes for all the talking about them that I do. Or maybe I just can't read the situation, like, you know, Zuo can't. But yeah, it would make sense for her to say that. Like, admit that she doesn't like wearing perfume because it's not a quote-unquote girly thing to do, something that, which is an issue that she struggles with a lot, etc., etc.
僕から甘い香りが漂ってきたらおかしいだろ。
そうかしら。
そうさ。それに甘い香りをさせていたら服にお菓子を仕込んでいると思われるだろ。
そうね、ゆずりはらしいわ。でも残念、今度ゆずりはのために香水を選ぼうと思っていたから。
それは嬉しいが、
私と同じものはどう？こんな感じなのだけど。
いや。
Too much for Yuzu's fragile heart.
いや、私と同じものはダメ？
ネリネの香り。
どう？
ああ、僕もつけてみよう。
冷た。
頭を動かしてはダメだ。タオルが落ちてしまうよ。何が？
もうはぐらかさないで。ゆずりはが話してくれたおみじ狩りよ。
ネリーが個人的なイベントに行きたいなんて珍しいじゃないか。
料理部で開催するということは白羽さんも来るのでしょ。最近お話をしていないのよ。
さすが和菓子人気者だ。
Rightfully so.
それに佐々木さんたちも、特にリンゴさん、最近お話をする機会があったのだけど、どこか塞いでいたの。何か悩みがあるのなら助けになりたいわ。元気になってほしい。
If only you knew.
元気を出すのはまずは君からだよ。行くのは構わないが、まずは風邪を治すことだ。
参加してもいいの？
ああ、 部外者の参加を禁ずとは言ってなかったしね。部長の桜木くんには僕から言っておこう。
楽しみだわ。ゆずり派のお弁当。
おい、僕は作るとは言ってないぞ。
Yeah, we all know that would probably turn out unless she worked her butt off, and even then, it's not a guarantee.
私のために作ってくれないの？
上目遣いは卑怯だぞ。ね。
The reversal, right there. It's not lost on me. And of course, since it's Narine, Yuzu probably gonna work her butt off for it.
僕がお弁当を作るなんて、まさにそれじゃないか。
Honestly, I think I'm probably going to call the stream here. That fall leaf viewing scene that seems like will be the central point of this chapter. I kind of want to afford it its own like space, you know? Who knows how long it'll be, or if we're gonna get another mystery on top of that, but like just between this and the last stream, I think I've very comfortably hit the 2-hour mark and then some. So that's a lot of VN to get through, basically. Just like considering what happened at the end of chapter 2 up until now. Actually, lots happened. And of course that sort of I do like how like the confession was handled up until now, honestly. They're just like ignoring each other very obviously. And it's like really awkward. Can honestly relate, but even though they do ignore each other, they're like forced into situations like, oh, they're in the same room, like, oh, they're in the same club, of course. Just like, oh god, what do I do now? That soul crushing awkwardness that no one else, people like seem to pick up on, but obviously no one really knows. I feel like Ichigo, I don't know, like I don't know what her role in this is. You know what I was like, there's obviously a discrepancy. There's a discrepancy there between like, oh, she planned that date at the end of the Halloween party, like alleged, like it seems like according to Yuzu, she was the one who was show up at the chapel at midnight, basically, but Ringo shows up instead. So is she in on it? Like how much does she know? She's acting like everything's all hunky-dory now, but like I'm of the opinion that like she like knows what the heck's going on, is basically trying to like de-escalate it right now until things sort themselves out. But you know, I'm honestly pretty excited for this upcoming what's coming next. We got a good deal of lighthearted comedy moments up until up until this point in this chapter, so I'm pretty happy about that. And honestly, I kind of want to end it before it gets too depressing again, because that's usually what we're in for. So yeah, I think this is a good place to stop. I'm gonna cut it out here. Thanks for coming, everyone, and for sticking with the sort of technical difficulties and the you know, OBS and YouTube and my Wi-Fi were not playing nice today, so it was just kind of rough all around, but I think it worked out in the end. I'll probably try and stream. I'm still like trying to get that whole what do you call it, like the whole scheduling feature to work, and like the latency issues to work, and I still don't know how to make YouTube posts, so if I'm going to be doing this more often, or at least until this game's done, I gotta get that figured out. But yeah, that'll be it for this stream. Things just kind of keep snowballing and right now we're just kind of left with like a bunch of awkward tension and a bunch of unresolved things. So it's only a matter of time before we make some headway on all of this, I think. But yeah, that'll be about it for today. Thanks again, and I'll probably try and stream again on like Thursday, Friday. That's usually what I'm aiming for. I've been a little bit like late at keeping my word. I know I said I'd stream by Monday, but I wasn't really feeling up for it. But yeah, at least one more time this week. We'll just see how it goes. You know, I appreciated how lively the stream was today. It's always a pleasure to chat. Like, have just people enjoy this amazing series with me. So yeah, thanks again, everyone, and I'll catch you next time.